Welcome to Module 5. In this module, we're going to dive through everything about now it's time to launch your website. What should you be doing? How should that be looking? So what we're going to be doing is what we're going to be going through is like what you should be going over before you hit that publish button. And then I'm going to walk you through a number of free tools that you want to be using either when your website is just about to go live or after it has gone live to help you make sure that you are giving people the best live experience on your website. So before you hit that publish button, you want to make sure that you are testing, and testing again your website. Often what will happen is that in the middle of the design process, you're checking out different pages individually. And then sometimes what happens is that forms break, links break, pages don't load properly. And you want to make sure that you take a beginning to end approach of testing everything on your website. This can sometimes be really time consuming, especially because sometimes what will happen is that people will be like, oh, I've already checked this page. I don't need to do it again. Yes, you do. A form may have worked a month ago when you first tested it, but maybe since a new plugin or a new integration, that form no longer works. So it's really important to be testing your forms and testing every functionality on your website. So these things include testing those forms, testing those opt-in buttons, go through a run through of testing purchases or your checkout or your reservations. Often different types of platforms will have a fake credit card that you can put into there that allows you to be able to just test the system. You also want to make sure, how does your website look on mobile? Do all of your email addresses, phone numbers, and other links work, especially on a mobile device? And sometimes a really great idea is to have somebody else walk through your website that doesn't know your business at all or very well. Whether this is another business or a family member, somebody though that can just go through your website from beginning to end, read everything, and have a first experience on your website. This is also the time that you want to make sure that you have your policy details ready and uploaded onto your website. So again, in your downloadable PDF, I've included some information and details when it comes to having your privacy policy and what that should look like as well. So we're going to walk through a couple of tools that are available to you that is just, again, going to help you to know and understand how your website is performing. So the first tool that we're going to talk about is Google Analytics. So this is a free analytics tool that you can have that gets added to your website by simply adding a piece of tracking code that's going to allow you to be able to know how your website performs with people that are coming to it. It's going to allow you to look at how they're getting to your website, what actions they're taking, and so much more. So let's dive in. So welcome to Google Analytics. So this is the Google Analytics demo account. It's a free demo account that you can actually access through Google that allows you to just play around and see how Google Analytics work. I want you to just note though too that I am in the GA4 account. So this is the new Google account since the universal account no longer works. When you first land into Google Analytics, it will look something like this. This is the demo account, of course, so there's going to be some quite large numbers, so you might not see these big of numbers on your account. But the main area we're going to come to here is our reports tab. In here, you're going to see acquisition, engagement, monetization, retention, and user attributes, and so much more. This is where you're able to find a lot of key information. So if I come into my acquisition, I can come down here below and I can start to see where and how are people coming to my account. I can change the way that my information is being listed out here. I personally like to go into source and medium where I can actually get a full idea as to how and where they're finding my account information here. Now again, being a demo account, you're not going to see as much information based around social media just because it is Google and they're wanting to highlight Google products. But you can see here that I've got direct, Google, this is a cost per click campaign. I have Google organic, I have another form of organic, I have a newsletter, I have referral information, and you can see a lot of other elements here. So with your website, you'd be able to see here, are people finding you through search, through social media, through email, or through other ways as well. You can also come into your engagement and start to break down what pages are people going to, what does it look like? So here you can start to see these are the main pages that people are going to and start to understand how they're accessing them. You can also get into your user details here to learn where are people coming from, what typical gender do they have, and what type of interests, what ages, what languages, devices, and so much more. This user attribute is something I would suggest just to take with a grain of salt because often people don't put accurate information into their Gmail account like they do their social media account. But it's still a useful tool to help you understand a little bit more about who is coming to your website, especially the location tab as well. So this is something that you can set up free and connect it to your website to give you a better understanding of who is accessing your website and what they are doing. So for this next tool I'm going to walk you through is what they call a Chrome Inspector. So one of the things that I've emphasized is the importance of your website looking and performing well, regardless of the device type, whether that's a desktop or a mobile device. So the Chrome Inspector allows you to be able to quickly test to see how your website looks on multiple different devices. This is a free tool that you can use. You just need to have Google Chrome installed on your website. So we're going to do a quick example and show you how this works. So we're using Artisan's example here to show you how this would work. So if you're already in Chrome, you're going to go to your website and you're going to come up here to these little three dots. You're going to click on that and come down to More Tools. In here, you're going to see an option where you should see Developer Tools. You're going to click on that and it's automatically going to render your website to being able to show you these different devices. So on this side here, you're able to look and see at all the different devices, or you can just set it to general responsive, and you can adjust this to be able to see how your website is going to look in all of these different views. So this is a really simple and easy way for you to see how this is going to work without you having to have multiple different phones and different types to be able to navigate to be able to do that. You will see a little pop-up. Unfortunately, my screen sharing is not showing it, where it's going to show you the sources, the elements, the codes, and all of that information. You don't need to worry about that as per se. You're more just concerned about how does this look on the different types of pages. As you can see, that one might need a little bit of work. And you're able to just kind of navigate to see how this is going to work and perform and what you might need to adjust and fix in order for it to show up properly on the different device types. So for these next couple of tools I'm going to walk through you, I'm going to show you a couple of other key performance ones. These are especially important for SEO. So we've already talked about how to see if your website is mobile friendly on using the Google Chrome extension, but now I'm going to show you how you can test it through Google to see if it's mobile friendly. I'm also going to share with you a couple of tools that can help you for your website speed test. Now, the big thing to note with speed tests is that every different tool has a different test that it runs. So you can check it with 50 different tools and all of those tools will give you a slightly different response. So it's important to find one tool and stick with that tool. There's no right or wrong, it's just how much detail and how much you're focused on with it. But I'm going to show you two tools that I tend to use. And then there's also the broken link checker. So this is a tool that you can use to check and see if you have any broken links on your website. So we're going to walk through now and show you how to use these tools. Okay, so for this example, I'm actually going to use a different website. We're going to use Phantom Creek just to run our tests. You can actually do this with your website. You can also do this with your competitors' websites, just to give you a sense of where other people might be. So this first one is the Google Mobile Friendly Test. We're going to enter our URL into here, and it's going to take a few minutes to do a live test with it. When you are doing these types of tests, it's really good to try and do them at least once a month just to see how site speed and different things start to perform and how they take as well. Okay, great. So now we have our results back here from Google. So we can see here that we got the green check mark that yes, our page is mobile friendly. We can also see that it was crawled successfully on July 31st. So that was just here recently as well. So that's great. And then you can be able to see if you wanted it to go into the entire site, it's going to take you to Google Search Console, which is a great free tool that you can be able to use to make sure that it is fully indexed. So the next tool that we're going to walk through here is what they call GTmetrix. So this is a bit more of a robust breakdown on a tool here that's going to be able to show you how fast your website loads. So we talked about your website speed being 3 seconds or less. This tool is going to be able to allow you to test your site and allow you to be able to see any potential areas that are slowing down your website and issues that you might want to fix. So to get to this website, you're just going to type in gtmetrix.com. It'll take you to this URL and it'll enter in your data in here. Great, so our report is now done. So we can see here that there is some performance issues with this website. It grades it on an alphabetical scale, everywhere from like A to I think like E or F. So you can see here that there is some opportunities for them to have some updates. One of the biggest things with this website is that a lot of the media on this website is actually hosted directly on the website. So it does tend to slow this website down a fair bit. So we can see here it's getting an overall ranking as C. We've got the server test location in Vancouver via desktop. You can also do this on a mobile. And down below here, it's going to show us our issues with our website. So again, we have this enormous playback load. We can see here this MP4 that's telling me that that is a video. So there's a video that's directly uploaded to the website, and that's where we're seeing a lot of this slowdown. We also have some fairly large images that are added to this website. So we've got a 1.5 megabytes, a 1.4. You can see here there's a lot of them and a lot of other images and files as well. So this will give you a list of all of the files that it's going to recommend that you change. And simply by just reducing these file sizes, you'll probably see a huge improvement. Again, it breaks it down a little bit further here, where it's showing you some additional images that are having some issues here. We've got some issues with some of the cache policies as well. So this is going to be dealing with like the website, rendering block issues, and then scrolling performance. So there's some issues in here as well. So this is something that you could make some of these adjustments to yourself, and then the others you could send to your website programmer to get them to also work on some of these issues. But this is a really good tool, gives you a lot more detail. The other tool that is available to you is the Google website tool as well. So this allows you to analyze your website for page speed and so much more. So let's go and run our insights. So we're going to come into here and we're going to enter in our website that we want this page to be able to analyze. And again, it's going to give us back a different response than the other one that we have here. So we're able to see where our total speed is. We can go between desktop and mobile. In general, Google's given us a pass on this one. So we know that Google tends to like our website, but GTmetrix is showing us just some additional issues that we probably want to address just to help with our performance a little bit more. You'll get some more breakdown in here, and it'll take a little bit of time, but you'll also get some issues laid out below that will give you some breakdown. The good thing I do like about this tool here is that if you have a Google account and you're logged in, it will actually show you your past runs on this tool, so you can start to compare whenever you've tested your website and how it's performing moving forward. So the last tool that we're going to walk through here is the broken link checker. This is a fantastic tool to use to help you to see, is there any broken links or any broken images or anything on your website that is broken on there. So we're going to enter in the URL. It's going to ask us for a security code here. So we're going to go VM49G and go find broken links. Now, depending on the size of your website, this may take a little bit of time. So you can see here that the tool is still running, but we've already got one result. So this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the actual link that's broken. You're going to see what this is. So in this case, it's showing us that there is a link text. So the link text is going to say this, and this is where the link is going to direct to. The second one that just showed up here is this Philadelphia flower show, and this is the link here. So then what you can be able to do is that we're going to go to where the page is found, and we're going to go to the URL. And then from here, what we can do is we can scroll down to find the link, which is going to be this one here. And this is our broken link that you're going to want to change and update to either remove it if the link no longer exists, or to be able to update it and correct it on here. So this tool can be really helpful to quickly and easily allow you to scan your entire website. What it will not check though is that if there is a link that is no longer valid to the correct location, but it goes somewhere else. So maybe there was a URL that was for an event that used to go to an event for say June 2023, and now that event no longer exists and they're promoting the next event, it won't tell you that there's still something there and then it's no longer accurate. It'll only tell you if the link is actually broken. So let's review everything that we've covered in this module. So number one, before you make your website live, test it and test everything on it to make sure it all works. Better yet, get somebody else to spend 20 minutes to go through your website to see if there's anything that they can find that doesn't make sense, doesn't work, or isn't functioning like it's supposed to. Make sure that you're adding your analytics tools so that you can better understand how your website is performing, and use these different types of tools that I've pulled together for you to test and check your website before you go live and even afterwards to make sure it is performing at its best, so that you don't have people that land on your website and it doesn't load or it's too slow and they happen to leave. So I hope you found this module helpful, and I'll see you on the next module.